Hi everyone, welcome to Trivera Tip Tuesday. In case you missed it, our last session was about marketing research and strategic planning. Now, we all know strategic planning is really important, and to us at Trivera, it is critical. Discovery is actually required of all of our new client relationships, but it's important to revisit your plans and always be working for continual improvement. Remember that strategic planning is not a one-time event, so be sure to check that tip out if you've missed it. I'm Christina Stetter. I'm the EVP here at Trivera, and this week I am talking with Jackie about competitive research. In our short conversation today, we're going to cover why you should do competitive research, why you don't do competitive research, how we do it at Trivera, and then what you can do on your own. So Jackie, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Jackie Costa. I work on the content and link building side of SEO, and I've been at Trivera now for about 2 years, and actually I've been in marketing for about 15 years.
Thanks. So we have the 4 things that we're going to cover today, and the first one is, what are the reasons people should do a competitive analysis? Can you explain that?
Well, it's really important that you do a competitive report, because otherwise you'll find some things that you only think might be true. So for example, if your competitors are producing a lot of content, maybe putting out a lot of blogs, posting a lot of white papers, and maybe talking about tip sheets that are available online, you might get the idea that that's something you should do too. But in reality, that can be deceptive because you don't even know if that's working for them.
Right. That's a really important point. You know, we see a lot of people who come to us and they've been putting a ton of effort into creating content. And then we discover that it's not actually ranking for anything. And there are a few reasons for that. One of the most common is that they're trying to rank for keywords where the volume is super high and it's basically impossible to rank for. These are very broad, generalized terms that might be very common in your industry. For example, at Trivera, it would be like if we were trying to rank for something like search engine optimization or content marketing. Those are very generalized terms, and you can't rank for these. There's a lot of reasons for that. If you want to learn about them, go to the events page at Trivera.com and check out our Biz Expo presentation. We dig into that quite a bit during the 45 minutes that we're on that presentation. The second reason that people write content and it doesn't rank for anything is they might not know how to write for SEO. Writing for SEO is a lot different than writing for a magazine or a newspaper or brochure or something like that. So you really have to understand how websites work and how to write for the search engines as well as the readers. And then the third reason is what we call a broken site. That doesn't necessarily mean that the site is completely non-functional or that it's not rendering. What we mean by that is that about 75% of search engine optimization is related to technical aspects of your site that you can't usually see with the naked eye. So you have to do technical audits in order to find these things. And that will help you perform better in Google's eyes. And since Google's the one who's making the choices about search engine optimization, it will really be helpful to you. One thing you can do on your own is check out your Google Analytics account, and you can get some page speed insights right within that account. So there's right there available to you for free. It's definitely worth investigating.
Oh, I totally agree. Another reason that you would want to do competitor research is that you actually might find a competitor you didn't even know of. When we ask clients who their competitors are, they have a list, but we always want to find direct and indirect competitors whose online presence competes with yours. During discovery meetings with clients, we always ask them for a list of competitors. Then we go back and we do our own research, and often our clients are surprised to learn that their true competition is different than what they thought it was. So we focus on understanding rival brands and how they're competing for the same users and also the same keywords. Not only the most well-known brands and the most keywords that are worth the most, which sometimes we call the money keywords.
Yeah, it's super important to look beyond what you can see with the naked eye because there's a lot of great data out there. Okay, so now we know why you should do competitive research. Let's talk about why you should not do a competitive analysis.
Oh, great idea. So you don't want to do one just so you can copy your competitors. You want to find opportunities where you can do things better or differently. Marketing by imitation has never been and will not ever be a good strategy, a good competitive strategy.
Absolutely right. I mean, I've always said that if people can't tell the difference between two things based on the things that matter, they will judge the difference between them based on all the things that don't matter, which a lot of times becomes price. So if your marketing strategy, your website, your advertising, your social accounts, whatever you're doing makes you look and sound exactly like your competitors, why on earth would someone switch to you? So don't market by imitation. You don't want to play second fiddle to your competitors. Plus, let's go back to our first point. You don't even know for sure if it's working for them unless you do this.
But you can find out.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how we do competitive audits.
Good idea. At Trivera, we use a bunch of techniques to find and analyze information for our clients. The most common tools we use are called SEMrush and Moz. Now, these are paid tools, but they do offer our SEO team a ton of information that's basically impossible to find any other way. And Jackie, since you're on the SEO team, can you share with everybody what kinds of information you can find when you're using these tools?
Definitely. This is a list that I put together for today. Here's some of the things that you can find when you do a competitive audit. You can find out what keywords you rank for versus what keywords your competitors rank for. You can see where they overlap, opportunities that neither of you rank for. You can also see if your competitor is advertising and even get an estimate of how much they spend. It's not always accurate, but it's pretty close. You can find out more about their domain authority and yours. You can also find out information regarding inbound links, branded versus non-branded traffic. You can compare traffic volume, and you can set up competitive reports on their social accounts. You can also use Hootsuite to monitor that, and in that way, you'll be able to track increases in activity, likes and shares, and other engagement, which can alert you to changes in maybe the way that they're doing some marketing.
Yeah. We do want to note that both SEMrush and Moz do allow you to do some limited searching for free. You won't get nearly as much information as we get using the paid version, but if you've never done this before, it will represent a huge improvement over what you knew when you started. So be sure to give it a try. Or anyone can buy access to these tools, so you're welcome to try it yourself. We should note that these tools are pretty robust. They give you a lot of data, and so there is a learning curve associated with knowing how to run the reports, what each report means, and then how to combine the information to get meaningful insights. So your third option would just be to give us a call and we can run the reports, analyze the results, and tell you what it means. Because you can get some great information and fantastic ideas out of them. But if you want to try doing some other things, there are a couple of other options for things that you can do yourself, right, Jackie?
Oh, for sure. You know, if you don't have access to these tools, there are some things you can do, like you can hop on Google and you can search your name, you can search your competitor's name, you can look for keywords that you think matter and see what comes up. But you'll just have to make sure to do this in an incognito window. And if you don't know how to do that, you know, it's pretty easy to figure out how to do it. But there's a tool out there that's free. It's called Ubersuggest, and it keeps getting better and better. It's robust, and you can get some very good basic keyword information from that tool.
Definitely. Those are both great resources, and you should try them. And of course, be sure to keep Jackie's tip about the incognito window in mind. That is critical because your search results are personalized to you unless you are using an incognito window, so you won't get an accurate result. The other thing is to remember to go in with an open mind. You want to question everything you thought you knew about your business. And remember, the point of doing all of this is not to copy your competitors. You want to find things that you can do better. You want to focus on what differentiates you. And just because you see somebody doing something doesn't mean that it's actually working. So you want to think about the resources you have and what you can actually get done too. If you can see that there's potential for blogging, it's great to do it, but don't plan to publish one blog post every week if you don't have the resources to make that happen. Make sure that your plans are realistic. You want your goals to be achievable. And remember, the purpose of all of this work is to understand your competitive landscape and how people are actually using the internet to research and make purchases. So try really hard to think differently about your business. You want to question how your customers find, choose, and buy from you.
Well, of course, that's one advantage of having an outside agency. It's easier for us because we're exposed to more clients and more ways to do business. We've seen a lot of digital marketing and a lot of funnels in action, and also, pretty common human nature. Once you've worked somewhere for a while, it's hard to see what's different, and that's always a challenge.
It is. It's really hard to get out of your own way. So we hope that all of you out there will try conducting a competitive analysis. It is really important. And don't be afraid to reach out to us for help. We're here for you. Now, if you want to continue your learning on best practices for digital marketing, please check out some of our other Tip Tuesdays. If this topic is interesting to you, I highly suggest listening to our episode about zero-click searches that is related to what we're talking about today. We also have a recording about reporting, which is important if you need to demonstrate results. You want to know how to do that well. And then we have 2 Tip Tuesdays and a whole seminar about how sales and marketing can work together to achieve better results, which is a very important topic right now that everybody is trying to market and sell themselves online in this age of social distancing. So that's it for today. Jackie, I really want to thank you for giving us some time and explaining how competitive research can really make a difference for people. So thanks a lot and
Sure.
have a great day.
Thanks.